Hey everyone, Evan Kirstel. Today I have a fantastic guest, Stacy Sherman, customer experience and marketing practitioner, CX journalist, author, podcaster. What did I miss, Stacy? How do I describe you these days?
Human being just
Oh,
on a mission to doing customer experience right.
fantastic. Well, maybe introduce yourself, if you would, to the audience here, and a little bit about your bio, your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been a practitioner in corporate for 20 plus years. And during that time, I've also had my side passion projects of doing CX Right. Started out as a blog, and then it grew into podcasting and journalism. And now I'm taking that on the road and doing a lot around all the topics we're going to speak about and really stopping and preventing bad experiences for us as customers and the employees that really fuel the CX, the experiences we have. So
Well,
glad
it's
to
an
be here.
amazing topic, and we're going to dive right in. And I was actually at Customer Contact Week in Las Vegas for the first time a few weeks ago. That was a really eye-opening event, I found. So tell us, give us a state of the union for customer experience, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Well, we all have our anecdotal experience, but what's it like in the organizations, brands that you talk to and work with?
Well, first of all, I was at the same event as you and we didn't see each other.
We
So,
have to meet on social media. There you go.
oh
So
my gosh, yes, we were in the same place. Darn. But it was massive. So, no shock that we didn't see each other. Yeah, there's a lot of trends happening. Workforce management is changing. The gig economy, though the gig word isn't necessarily the right connotation, but there's truly that economy happening. And of course, AI, everybody's fearful and prepared and all that, how that affects our world. And even agent experience that is becoming a real hot topic because people are starting to realize the agent delivers that customer experience. They're the front line too. So,
yeah, so often overlooked and under-equipped. The agents sort of viewed as a back office function when in fact they're at the front lines with customers. And I agree at CCW that was all the talk about enhancing agent experiences in contact centers. Prioritizing agent engagement, which
yes.
can lead to improved customer experiences. Any practical solutions or tools that you've seen that are kind of working particularly well?
I'm platform agnostic because I've seen so many, and I'll tell you what's going to win when it comes to all this emerging tech, and that is the UX, the user experience and the UI of these platforms, because the one that makes it really easy to use is going to be the one that wins. And the same thing with the social media, this, now threads or whatever it's called, like the new things that are popping out. It's going to be who makes it easy for us and saves us time, the agent's time, you and me time. That's what's going to win.
Yeah, I think the days of agents having seven different screens open and
Oh, no.
obscure apps that they have to switch between are hopefully coming to an end soon. And AI, of course, was all the talk, all the rage, and we're all excited about Dolly and by ChatGPT, but in fact, in the contact center space, we're seeing very practical, kind of utilitarian use cases for AI around increasing efficiency and enhancing employee experiences and providing the information where and when agents need it, and providing customers better contextual contact across different channels. What are you seeing around AI that's really going to blow up the contact center experience as it's seen today?
Yes, I think there's two major areas. One is how to help these agents onboard and get trained in the easiest way, most simple, effective ways. And so that's one area is agent training, agent coaching, and then also the making it easy for them when they're live on a call with a customer, and obviously there's chat too. That's such high pressure. It's like being
Mm.
on stage as an improv, right? You've got to get that very quickly, those answers. And so the companies have to be able to enable those agents to be able to answer on the fly, find the information easily and quickly to provide that service. And what's complicated is that not only do you have the agents that are in your employee base in your contact center, but a lot of companies are actually outsourcing that function. And now they're not just employees, right? You've
Mm.
got this whole independent contractor model and gig model and outsource solutions. So there's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah, a lot of layers, and we have no chance to even peel back all the layers today. But the idea of large language models, not ChatGPT, but a company's data being presented over it with a natural interface to an agent, a single repository of all the knowledge and data within an organization right at the agent's fingertips. That's pretty powerful. So through a natural language interface, that's something that I think we can expect to see. I mean, the other thing is, of course, automation was all the talk, and efficiency is as always. But automation has been a long time coming, and we had RPA, we have RPA in contact centers that allow for improved efficiency and workflows and breaking down silos. But what else? Are you seeing a lot of effective automation
Yes.
implementations out there? There are also a lot of false starts. There's maybe not the opportunity to automate that we thought we might have.
I agree. I think what's important, and I was just having this conversation about the AI, the technology is supposed to enhance our experiences and our being human, whatever role we have. But there's also times where you cannot replace that. And in the instance when I worked in an elevator industry, people
Elevator,
are
like lifts that go up and down in buildings. Yes. Okay.
yes, yes, exactly. And you have customers who get entrapped in an elevator. And so they're calling for help. You've got a technician that has to come on the way. So they're calling in the elevator, right? That's a customer service rep who then has to bridge the gap to a technician to get to that
Mm.
elevator. Now, technology helps in the way of that rep knowing the location of the technician and the expected time of arrival. But you can't have someone entrapped with claustrophobic and afraid and say, let me give you my AI and I'll give you this robot and the
Press
person's
one,
freaking
yeah.
out.
Bad IVR, yeah. That's not going to work. And hopefully, we're getting rid of that antiquated technology. It's still far too prevalent, as we all know, in healthcare, for example. It's everywhere. Voicemail systems and voicemail jail and faxes, et cetera, et cetera. But our expectations are evolving. We don't accept that anymore as consumers, as customers, and there are generational shifts, right? I mean, talk about maybe the shift to millennials and Gen Zs and how they expect service care to be delivered. What sort of trends or opportunities do you see out there
Yeah.
around serving the next generation and beyond?
Well, I'm noticing, and I do have Gen Z kids, they
Me too.
don't, okay, I don't know about yours. They don't really use email.
No.
It's it's archaic to them. Okay, so that presents a very interesting situation here because how you give them the options to get customer service, they're fast, they're on the fly, they're texters, they're even, they're using all this technology. And even to manage Gen Z and millennials is different than you and I. And so how we have to merge, how Gen Z and Gen X have to merge is almost the same thinking process of how do we merge with the technology. It's just all really different.
Mm.
so um so I think that we have to understand their needs. We also have to, when you're using the tools and you're paying attention to even predictive measurements, it's going to be different than someone like you and me versus our kids. And you got to really understand the different segments to manage that.
Yeah, and the technology shift is amazing. I mean, there is a generation that still prefers phone calls, and it's amazing how bad or non-existent telephony is in a lot of these service systems. Good luck calling Google or Microsoft for help, and so that's a whole segment that is still stuck in the dark ages. Getting a call back, something as simple as that, is not standard practice these days. And social media increasingly is where I go as a Gen Xer to get support, and that's often not supported through messaging or DM or WhatsApp, which I prefer. So it really is a challenging environment. I do feel for the providers to some level, not a little bit, not too much.
I've actually been testing this, blatantly testing this. I was just at the Hilton and I had a frustrating experience, and I went on Twitter, and I don't badmouth per se, but I was very specific about an experience that I was not happy with. I got quickly a response
Mm.
in a private. They were smart. They responded so that the world can see they're on it. They took it to a private message, and then I got a phone call from that local hotel. So they
Wow.
closed the loop, and that's a really good story.
That is unheard of almost in our space, increasingly more and more. But yeah, shout out to Hilton. I love Hilton. I'm a Hilton member, and that's just someone is paying attention to the customer journey, as it's called. Let's talk about the human side, the human capital side of contact centers. Lots of change, turnover, work from home, and just disruption in the traditional workforce. Agents, a lot of turnover. You can't expect to have folks stay on long term. A lot of having to train and equip agents very quickly. How do you address some of these organizational and other challenges with your agents?
Absolutely. So, especially with the distributed workforce, one of the tactics that I've seen work beautifully is creating a platform, a community
Mm.
for them so that they can actually lean on each other, peer to peer support, not just your headquarter people setting up, which helps like a lunch and learn, but also giving them the ability to connect with each other. And that works not just even for agents, but even when going back to the elevator industry, giving the union guys an ability to connect with each other. Hey, I need a tool. Does anybody know that? Or I got this customer call. Do you know how to handle that? That's powerful. And so here's the other thing. If you don't provide the community, the platform, the tools for them, guess what? They go on to like Facebook and they create their own community and
Mm.
they don't let you in. It's fact. It's true.
Yeah, we're seeing that in lots of places, and it's a good trend on one hand. That sort of grassroots, ground up collaboration is welcome. Really, yeah, really interesting. And of course, technology is equipping workers and agents more and more. I've seen field service workers now being equipped in industrial plants with AR glasses that can pop up manuals and instructions and guidance right in their eyeball, hands free, so they can repair an elevator or a broken piece of machinery on the fly with support. So sounds like
The
you've seen that scenario already.
Oh, absolutely. And here you bring back the human,
Mm.
and I have a heart and science framework. And let me go to the heart for a second. So one of the things that's so important, and I know that we spend a lot of time and focus on technology, I also have to bring the heart to business. And what that means is when I was working in the elevator industry, I literally would go on ride alongs
Mm.
with technicians. I don't know anything about being a technician, a mechanic. Okay. I'm petite and female. And so there's not many of us out in the as a technician. But part of my job was going out and ride alongs and living the life in their shoes. And oh my God, I got such learning and empathy. So my point to that is every job, you really do need that undercover boss, and you really do
Mm.
need to be out there walking in the shoes of your agents and your employees to understand the pain points and make decisions from it.
Wow, I love your sense of empathy and connection there. We don't talk about that much anymore. We just talk about numbers and stats and speeds and feeds and data. Any other thoughts on motivating and engaging your agents and building that connection and not just being a taskmaster or a
Yeah.
a data scientist and looking at your people in your organization?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to combine it, the heart and the science. So,
Right.
another thing is that what I found work very well in companies is bringing those agents to the table when decisions are being made.
Mm.
Having them where, whether it's your governance calls or whether it's journey mapping, bring them to the journey mapping exercise. Have your CEO call them and say, tell me what it's like in your day to day. Let me shadow you for a day again. Like, that is where you bring them in. They feel valued. They feel like they're part of the company. They're part of something. They actually feel the value and they pay it forward.
Oh, I love that. Well, so wonderful. It's wonderful to see that being implemented in the real life, not just in books and on podcasts. So, congratulations, well done. We're in a busy summer, not as quiet as usual. It seems lots of events, lots of travel, personally, professionally. What are you looking up to? Where are you headed over the next few weeks?
Yeah, so I'm going to two wonderful events leaving tomorrow. Going to Santa Monica for Three Tree Tech, which is, we'll be talking a lot about agent experience with providers and business leaders. So I'll be involved at that event. And also going to the National Speakers Association,
Mm.
where there'll be a lot of mutual friends that we have on Saturday in Orlando, and really talking about best practices in being an influencer as we are. And it's so beautiful that we don't look at each other as competitors, but more of what can we do together to make a difference. There's plenty of space for all of us. And that's what influence seems to be about. It's my first event there, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, I would love an update and love to catch it on the podcast. Everyone, follow, subscribe to all of Stacy's various channels and her podcast and beyond. And yeah, thanks so much for spending time in your busy summer and enjoy the hot weather while it lasts. I think you're in New Jersey. I'm up in Boston, so it's been an interesting summer to say the least. But Santa Monica sounds fabulous. So enjoy.
Thank you so much for having me. And doingcxright.com is a lot of free resources for people.
Fantastic. Check it out, folks. And thanks for watching, everyone.